Oh, the battle of Luffy's fraudulent opponents. Seriously though, these two out of most characters within the community have been arguably the most clowned on, and weirdly enough, I haven't said much regarding their scaling, so allow me to spread my One Piece gospel once again that the viewers love, and allow me to cook. Lucci versus Katakuri. This matchup is not close, and let me explain why. Firstly, let's talk about Rob Lucci since we were introduced to him first. Now, obviously, the Lucci that fought Luffy back in Enies Lobby would get dookied on by Katakuri. It's not even funny. But this is not the Rob Lucci we are going to be talking about. You see, after his defeat against Luffy, it was said that he trained hard enough to learn the ways of Haki, and it was even promoted to CP0, which is the highest rank within Cipher Pol. We first see what he's capable of in Reverie negging Chinjao student who surpasses Chinjao himself, who by the way could contend with Dressrosa Luffy before Gear 4. And funny enough, the CP0 scaling goes further in Wano when we see a random agent just intercept Snake Man and Kaido, and was somehow able to take a picture of Gear 5 and show it to the whole world. We also know even characters like Who's Who should be one of the stronger Tobi Roppos, considered Lucci a prodigy. So at the very least, in terms of hype, he should be above the likes of Who's Who, and is potentially reaching those initial Gear 4 rooftop Luffy levels. We then go on to see an Egghead Lucci not completely dying to Gear 5 and assisting Gear 4 against the Seraphim, which should push this idea of Lucci being in that upper Wano tier of power. And obviously he isn't Kaido tier, but I do believe he surpasses the likes of the Tobi Roppo and can more than likely beat up Jack or Queen. Although Lucci is looked at as a snitch and everyone is kind of clowning on him for being a coward, I do believe his strength is definitely slept on and is a lot stronger than people give him credit for. He can utilize the Rokushiki powers as well, which can allow him to fly, increase his speed, attack, and durability, plus his most notorious ability is poking people super hard. Yeah, anyway. And now let's talk about everybody's favorite commander, mine included, Katakuri. I'm just kidding. Katakuri isn't a fraud, however, he definitely is one of the more overrated characters in terms of power. Unlike Lucci, who just gets clowned on, Katakuri just gets glazed. It's insane. People believe Katakuri, due to his crazy future sight, can still fight characters in the later parts of Wano like Marco, King, Queen, Killer, Sanji, Zoro. However, unfortunately for my GOAT, Luffy just grows too powerful, man. Yes, he does technically defeat Snake Man in an all-out fight, but Pol's Whole Cake Bounceman got one-shotted by Kaido, which more than likely means Katakuri would as well. And then Luffy learns Advanced Armament along with growing physically, and then goes on to use Advanced Conquerors and grow during his fight with Kaido, pretty much eclipsing his full-powered state 2 times while growing at a rapid rate. And yes, Katakuri's L was definitely questionable. You know, he stabbed himself, was clowning on Luffy pretty much the whole time. But this doesn't mean Katakuri just magically scales to the same Snake Man that blitzed hybrid Kaido. That's not how it works here, guys. Luffy gets way stronger post Whole Cake, gets way stronger during Rooftop, and is obviously way stronger by the end of Wano. That being said, Katakuri still has one of the best double fruits in the series, being able to fight at close, long, and mid-range, can increase his power and go into some berserker state that allows him to essentially beat Snake Man, and obviously has some of the best observation Haki in the series. However, you guys need to understand, just because you have crazy observation Haki does not mean you can just react to every attack. You need to have actually decent physical speed as well. With all this in mind, let's talk about the fight scenario. Rob Lucci and Katakuri approach each other. Who's getting one-shotted? Lucci, with his worst scaling, is fighting alongside Gear 4 and surviving hits from Gear 5, which may not seem like a lot, but would just be simply better than anything Katakuri has, whose only real thing is having good observation Haki. But that won't matter if Lucci is just so much faster than him and can overwhelm him with attacks that he's completely vulnerable to. Like, Katakuri is not going to be doing what he did the entire time in Whole Cake and warp around everybody's attacks. Lucci would be the one weaving all of his blows and can just do one slash attack and it's over. That's also another thing as well. Katakuri's durability is kind of booty cheeks. I mean, he has shown crazy tolerance to pain, but him just tanking attacks directly, he hasn't really shown the best ability of. Meanwhile, Lucci can both dish it and take it. Although he's a snitch and not as cool as Katakuri, definitely not as cool, Lucci does unfortunately put Katakuri in a school locker if they were to fight.